Hello peeps. So we're going to be having an in-depth look at this little Intel N95 Mini PC, Windows 11, and it's off AliExpress. I paid about £159 for this one, I think, but the prices go up and down. The one I'm looking at is the 16GB DDR4 RAM. It's got a 512GB hard drive, and it's the 12th generation Alder Lake N95 3.4 GHz processor in it. So basically this video is going to be a good look at Retrobat. I'm going to have a quick look at a couple of PC games. I also stick a little bit of Batacera in here as well to compare to a system that doesn't run great via Retrobat, but it runs really well on Batacera. Also, I'm going to be adding a few little tips and tricks in here and some configuration on certain systems. So basically, if you might already have one of these mini PCs and you might be struggling with a certain system, this might help you. This video might help you. You might already have one and you're looking at putting Retrobat on it, so I'm going to show you what sort of systems you're going to be able to run on it. Or you might just be looking for something for like a little arcade cabinet or a little something to play your retro games on. For the money, I'm really surprised with what this runs and what it's capable of for such a small PC. Obviously there's loads better out there now. This has been out for a while. You can buy these from like £50 up to 800 quid now that'll basically run anything at what's out there today. These are a real decent little system for the price and what you're getting. They're really good. I usually recommend people to buy like a Dell Optiplex and stick a graphics card in. You know, like I've told people before, for PlayStation 2 you get like a GT 1030 or whatever. But basically this is on par, if not better than with what you'll get performance-wise out of a Dell Optiplex and a GT 1030. I was really surprised with how this runs. So before I get on with the video, and I hate doing this, but I'd really appreciate it if you're new here, if you could subscribe to my channel, like the video if you like any of the content. I'm just going to go into that a little bit. So I asked somebody to subscribe to me the other week, one of my friends, and they said, oh yeah, I'll subscribe. Basically, I don't really want to pay money, and he thought he had to pay to subscribe to the channel. So I'm just going to explain to those who don't know. If you press the subscribe button below, basically all it will do is the next time you're on YouTube, if you have a YouTube account and you click subscribe, the next time you're on YouTube, it might recommend one of my videos while you're sat watching the video. You don't have to fill anything in, you don't have to send an email, you don't have to sign up to anything. It's literally, you click that subscribe button, you'll never hear anything else from it, except for, like I say, it might recommend one of my videos the next time you're on YouTube. And also pressing like shows interaction with my video. So basically with YouTube you need 1,000 subscribers. I'm on 611 I believe making this video, and you need 4,000 now in viewing time or 10 million YouTube short views, which I don't particularly do on my gaming channel. I do them on my cooking channel, but on my gaming channel I just do normal videos. I'm nearly up to the 4,000 hours viewing time now. What I just need another 400 subscribers, which is taking a little while because obviously, like I said before many times, I work, so it's hard to fit everything in with life and do this as well. Obviously that's the end goal. I'd love to be able to just sit at home and make food and make gaming videos. You know, that's my goal. Whether I'll ever get to that point, who knows. But anyway, pressing the like button shows interaction with YouTube, because even when you hit their demands, what they ask for, they still might not pay you depending on your channel. If I put videos out, which I do, and they've got thousands of views and hardly any likes, then they're not going to pay you or put any adverts on your videos, basically. Also, same with the like, any interaction. I mean, you might want to call me a dickhead, you might want to say that my voice is annoying, which I know it is. Any sort of interaction on my video, I don't care, write whatever you want on it, because that's classed as interaction on the video, and that helps towards getting monetized on YouTube, which is my end goal, obviously. So one more thing before I move on. I don't know whether people have heard, but the Dolphin emulator, which is for Gamecube and Wii and Wii U, Nintendo basically brought an order out for it to have it removed from Steam, which they've done. They didn't have to do, but obviously if they didn't do, then Nintendo would take them to court and sue them. So I believe it's going to court anyway. So if Nintendo were to win this case, then before long you're not even going to be able to talk about these emulators on videos, because once they've done it, then other companies will do it, and basically they will make emulation illegal, Obviously, emulation isn't illegal at the minute. It's the games that are illegal if you're putting pirated games on them and you don't own them. So anyway, I'll just tell you a quick few specs on the system of what you get and what you get in the box, what's on it. I'm not going to go into too much detail about all the whirligigs and biggly bobs and whatever else and how much power it draws and all that sort of crap, which a lot of people don't need to know. They just want to know what sort of systems, games it plays. And there's millions of videos out there reviewing these boxes. If you want to know all the specifications, I'm just going to tell you basically the basics. You can click on AliExpress for the size, dimensions, and anything else. So this is the exact model I brought. I'll leave a link in the description. It's £128 now. That's for your 8 gig with a 128 gig hard drive. I obviously paid for this one now. I paid about £159, so it's gone up a little bit. You don't need 16 gig of RAM. The 8 gig will be absolutely fine for running all the emulation. If anything, the 16 gig might help with some PC games, but I'm pretty sure for what this is capable of running, none of the PC games are going to be needing 16 gigabyte of RAM. So the 8 gigabyte of RAM model with the 128 gig hard drive will be absolutely fine. You can add your own hard drive as well. So I'll quickly give you the dimensions and what you're going to get with it. So it's 113 by 106 by 42 millimeters, and it weighs 240 grams. So on the front here, you've got two USB 3.2 ports and the power button, which has got an LED light in the middle. On the rear, we've got the power input, two HDMI outputs, an Ethernet input, the jack for your headphones, and two USB 3.2 ports. Underneath, you've got your 4 screws that open it up, where you can put an extra M.2 drive. Also, the 2 little keyhole sockets for the bracket that's included, where you can fix it to a wall or wherever you might want to. But anyway, let's take a look at what this little beast can do.
Get out of here! You shouldn't have been a cop! Press forward! Who's it? Get out of the way or suffer the consequence! Move! 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 Get down! Wrong profession! Dumb fucking cops!
Project Cars wouldn't allow me to use the afterburner, so I can't show you the frames per second. I'm going to say it would run in about 30 frames per second. Probably, maybe dropping a little bit under at time. Got a little bit of a stuttery gameplay on it, but it weren't too bad.
Respecting track limits. Keep it between the white lines.
The Witcher 3 were totally unplayable. I want to show you games not working on it. I want to show you games that aren't going to be playable on it. Not just games that are going to be playable, so you can judge what the limits are on it. So I'll start with Sega Saturn, and there's only 2 cores on Retrobat Sega Saturn, and it's Mad Nothing and Kronos. Now Kronos will not run the games, even on the lowest resolution, the native resolution. It was really choppy and unplayable, whereas Mad Nothing is the way to go here for Sega Saturn, one of these little boxes. In Batasera, you get a lot more choices. You get Yam and Shanshiro and a few more cores than you do on this, so you probably get a bit better performance out of this with Batasera, but it seemed to play fine on the native resolution with Mad Nothing, with all the default settings.
Level number 1.
Roger.
Show, proceed through that door. The fire is spreading worse than I thought. Show, be careful.
Hey, I'm here to save you, okay? I'm scared. I'm here to save you.
Another quick thing to mention is that the draw statistics for the frames per second do not work on the Mad Nothing core, neither does the save states. So moving on to the N64, one of my favourite ever consoles. Project 64 won't work. The Mupen core was the most compatible, but I did have to flip between the two. And I also got the odd issue with the parallel core too. So there's an issue where it's saying the controller pack is defective. So I quickly flick over to the Mupen core and it sorted the issue. Now, because the games is running so well, I decided to up it from 2 times to 3 times. So it's 960 by 720. So as you can see, we're getting bad audio stutter. So I had to flick it down from the 720 setting back down to 640 by 480. So as you can see, that didn't help at all. So I put it down to the native resolution, 320 by 240, same again. If you notice, the frames per second isn't changing at all, changing the resolution. Also, another thing to note, if you look at the floor, it's like really blurry, the graphics are. It looks a lot better when I change it to the parallel core. So flicking back to the parallel core here, performance is boosted, running perfectly, and it tends to look a lot better graphics-wise. So if we nip into the Retro Arch menu, you can see here that it's set at 640 by 480, and I actually believe it looked better in that than the 720p setting on the Mupen core. So it's worth experimenting, so we'll go straight in and put it on full HD for Mario 64. So now onto PlayStation, and we'll be using the DuckStation core. These are the settings that I've got set here. 720p. This will easily run it at 1920 by 1080. But I think it starts to look weird when you start upping the resolution too much. Also, with DuckStation, it's sort of, the graphics look a bit wobbly and jellified, which I'm not a massive fan of, to be fair. So the PCSX rearmed, even though you can't set the resolution as high, for me, is the better looking core.
Then head for that gate. That's your way in.
LAPD. Ineffectual as always, I presume.
I can see the gate. The gun is in your way. Take it out.
I'm pretty sure you can see the jellified sort of textures that you get on that. So flicking it to PCSX rearmed, you've got a few different settings you can change here, shader sets, stuff like that. Your internal resolution, basically you can put it on enhance just to make it look a little bit better. But you can't change it to like 1920 by 1080 like you can on the DuckStation core. With the cores, I'm going to guess you're not going to go wrong with either of them, to be fair. I didn't have a good look because you didn't need to. I just put it on Vulcan and went ahead with it. And I think it looks a lot better, even though the DuckStation core seems to smooth a lot of stuff out. It looks jellified. Onto Xbox emulation now, and Xbox emulation isn't great in general, and this little N95 really struggles with it, to be fair. None of the games seem to run at full speed. They weren't really playable.
area's off limits to guests, lady.
I'm no guest, pal.
Get down.
Moving on to 3DS emulation. Now this one really poor. First game, Dead or Alive Dimensions, seems to run fairly well, but the rest of them are unplayable. Then I'm going to show you a little bit of footage from Batasera running the same Citra emulator, and it runs absolutely fine. Moving on to another favourite of mine, Dreamcast. I'll just let the games do the talking on this. It runs really well on the Liberto Flycast core. It's set at 1280 by 960, but I changed that a little bit later on to show you that this handles this at 1920 by 1440, which is basically full HD.
Yeah.
You picnicked at the cable car.
Hey, don't freak out on me.
Watch it, you fool!
It's too good. Right here.
Be safe, G. How could anyone do this? G!
This victory strengthens the soul of Killing. You battle to fight!
So as you can see, everything's running fine, full speed, looking really good at 1280 by 960. But then we'll go in and we'll put it on full HD, which is basically the 1920 by 1440 setting.
This victory strengthened the soul.
So next on to something a little bit different, TeknoParrat. Mixed results here. Some games worked, some games didn't. I didn't click a load, to be fair. And also another thing to note on the TeknoParrat is some of the games that run, you can see they're running really slow, but they're set to 1920 by 1080. So if you were to go into the settings, you'd probably get them run better. You know, you could tweak a few little settings in there. I wasn't doing it for this video, to be fair, because TeknoParrat is the biggest pain in the arse ever created to man. So I didn't want to mess up my settings on my hard drive, so I left them as they was. But I'm assuming if you go and tinker about, you'll get them running really well, to be fair. They look really good. Just the odd title didn't run full speed.
Compact push again. Second, the Crimson Hail Mailer. Third, the Golden Slot Lever. Watch out for the bomb! Then the driver's right in the bomb. Oh, looks like the bomb is exploded. The turbo terrific has been taken up by a missile.
So moving on to the PSP now, and we're going with a standalone PPSSPP emulator. I set it here to ×2 resolution, but as you can see in the video, every time I load a game for some reason, it decides to put it in 10 times resolution.
Try not to piss off the locals.
You must be the... Hostiles.
2, 1, go. Straight 100. Long 2 right 70. Long 6 right, tightens over crest. Into long 3 left, tightens. 70, 5 left. Into long 6 right, tightens to 3.
Next up, Gamecube, and we're using the DirectX 12 core set at the native resolution. I do flick to the Vulkan core every now and then to show you some differences and how it performs, but for the most it's DirectX 12.
I've got it handled! Get yourself to safety! Stay hidden, kids!
This is SAS
So I'll quickly switch to the Vulcan core now, and as you can see, a lot of the graphics don't load properly, or they take a while to load, and big spikes.
Behind you, Paul.
Elk bed, I can smell them. Cracks are fresh, come on.
So as you can see on the Vulcan core, when it finally got going, it seemed to be running full speed, but half the graphics are missing. So we'll switch it back.
Behind you, Paul.
Elk bed, I can smell them. Cracks are fresh, come on. There he is.
Onto Wii now, and I'll talk you through the first bits and bobs of the settings. It wasn't a great start, but overall it weren't too bad an experience, the Wii on the N95. So 720p was running like an absolute bag of nails, so I dropped it down to native. Which made absolutely no difference, so I tried it on DirectX 11 to see if that's any different. So that made it even worse. I was hoping that game, because it was a bit of a 2D game, sort of would run well. I tried it on the Vulcan, the OpenGL core, both crashed the game. I don't know whether that's going to be the same throughout. Another thing with the controllers, if you want to use an Xbox controller, have this set to auto-configure controllers. If you come down to your controls, you have it on emulated, and where it says the Wiimote, basically nunchuck stroke cursor means your left thumbstick is your nunchuck and your right thumbstick is your cursor. Now, I recommend using the Wii Dolphin Ball. If you get one of them, you'd obviously come in here and change it to real. So we'll stick it back on DirectX 12.
Clear them out. Move up the streets. Hold it. Take the right. On it.
To compete in the Bergen City Death Watch. My name is Howard Buckshot Holmes, and along with commentator Chris Creedy, I'll be giving you a slave count of access to the more than 10,000 gamblers in this city. You can be sure not to miss a single disembowelment or brutal ass shaking. Isn't that right, Chris? me fucking Rex, Howard. I've survived more than my share of these crazy contests, but I can tell you that our audience is gonna see more gush and blood.
How could anyone do this? Reload! G!
James.
PlayStation 2 next. I show you some games running at the start on the OpenGL core, which I had issues with, so I turned to the best core, which is the DirectX 12 core. Also, I tried a few games with the Vulkan core, and they all crashed. So for me, overall, best core here is the DirectX 12 by far. Really impressed with how this little mini PC ran native PlayStation 2, to be fair. I tried upping it to 720p on God of War 2, which is one of the hardest games to run, and it was only just dropping to like 45, 50 frames per second.
The term friendly match. These two teams are packed full of born competitors. It's a game that will have plenty of spice and edge.
So I don't know if we noticed there the graphical issues, so I'll put it back on to DirectX 12. This is where I tried Vulkan and it crashed.
There are players out there who don't know the meaning of the word once the whistle goes. That's a useful ball. Made a good tackle.
Use the button to jump across these stepping stones. That's a high ledge. Try double jumping by pressing the button while jumping. More monsters! Press the button and give them the old spin kick.
So we're getting the odd dip on Sly, so I tried the OpenGL core, which was absolutely shocking. Onto Wii U, which wasn't great to be fair. Not bad in places. Running Assassin's Creed Black Flag here, you can see there's graphical like twitching in the background. So I tried flicking it over to the Vulkan core and it's still the same. Seems to be running really twitchy as well, but some games run okay. Also, there's a lot of tweaking you can do on the Wii U, which I don't do on the video, but I explain it at the end of the video and show you a little example of this, what could possibly get the games running a lot better.
Come on, mate. We're off to a bad start. It's 100 leagues or more to Havana. Will you walk that distance?
Nothing. It's just my nerves talking.
There's something I should know about this place, about...
Bury some motherfuckers from B Block. Oh, damn.
Stop it! Look out!
So as you can see there with a Vulcan core that was taking a while to load the graphics up. It was struggling with it. So if you come into your Retrobat part of your emulation, go to CMU. You can update if you need to there. Obviously, you've got all your settings in here. You can go and mess about with, edit your controller, set it up how you want it. You can edit each individual game, so you can have controller config for each game. Also, you can come into the graphic packs. You can click on download the latest community graphic packs there, and it'll download all the ones that you can for your games. Now, you can come in here and tweak all sorts of different things for the games. You can make the resolution lower than the standard one. You can set everything to low graphics. Makes it look really choppy and crap, to be fair. But if some of the other games that was, you know, just on the limit, basically just quite not working right, you could come in here, have a tweak about, and get them running fine, I'm assuming. So lowering all the graphics there sort of made Breath of the Wild run a bit faster in places, but also we're like dropping out, you know, getting really big lag spikes quite often on it. So it's unplayable, to be fair. You might be able to tweak it a little bit more and get it running right, to be fair, but, you know, I'm not going to go absolutely to town on it. Otherwise, the video is obviously going to take me way too long to do. So next up, a bonus little system that I'm not going to talk too much about, but the beauty of this, you can go into it and put a 0.5 resolution.
You've been resting.
I guess I was with...
I know we get on it. Get on there.
Ah, look at this mess. Oh, they're rotted to hell.
So yeah, I'm showing that off. Obviously, I was absolutely gobsmacked. The game's loaded on it, to be fair, let alone in some cases be playable. Obviously, if you've got one of these devices like I have, you're not going to mess about with the emulator. You're just going to play it as it is. So final thoughts. If you are building a arcade cabinet or you just want something to play all your old retro games on, it's a no-brainer. If you was to look at a Dell Optiplex with a second-hand graphics card in it, you know, it's going to cost you a lot more than buying one of these boxes. You've got to put the graphics card in yourself. And for the price of these, you know, what's the point? You're going to get a brand new device here, which could last a long while. It's also Wi-Fi. It comes with Bluetooth, so you can use your Bluetooth controllers or Bluetooth keyboards. You can tweak it. You can add little bits to it. You can add another M.2 dot to it. You can plug USB drives into it. You know, you can plug a Batasera build into it, which will run fine. There's certain things on Batasera that run better than Retrobat. There's certain things on Retrobat that runs better than Batasera. You won't go wrong with either, to be fair, on this. Really impressed with how it handled PlayStation 2, to be fair. I was gobsmacked that it run it the way it did. I was thinking that it was going to play some lesser titles, but I didn't even think it was going to entertain the likes of God of War 2 and Gone and Need for Speed and stuff like that, but it breezed them on a native resolution, which I was absolutely gobsmacked with, to be fair. So money-wise, just go for it. If you're wanting to, you know, like a little device like this, obviously there's loads better out there now. I've seen these little mini PCs running up to PlayStation 3. But for 120 odd quid or whatever you're going to get it for, like I say, you don't need the 16 gig. 8 gig will be absolutely fine for emulation. Also, obviously, you've got the likes. You can play some older PC titles. It's not going to run all the latest things, but what do you expect for the money? So like I say before, if you took anything from the video, give me a like if you don't mind. Also, if this sort of video is something that you're interested in, you can subscribe to my channel and help me get towards my 1,000 subscribers. Obviously, I'll be trying to get as many more on as I can. I've also got another mini PC to do next, which is meant to be a little bit more powerful than this. I actually paid less for it, but it's more powerful. Also, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give something away. Hopefully, if my bank account's in a little bit better position, I'll give this mini PC away and I'll stick a little mini Retrobat build or Batasera build with it to go with it. But yeah, final thoughts. Don't hesitate. Just get it brought. Just buy one. Take less than 2 weeks. Come from AliExpress. Really recommend these.